I hate microphones. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about social VR, and we've just got greenlit on a project with Erase Child Trafficking and a company called Zeality. I will be directing a film that's going to be episodic VR content. So today we're going to be talking about why VR, and we're going to talk about social VR and like why that is so damn important. So let's go slide because that's boring. So this is Erase Child Trafficking. Last night I handed off a Samsung Gear 360, which you'll see me recording with, so it'll be able to see everybody as we record, to one of the board members of Help Erase, so that that camera could go to Cambodia, Trinidad. That camera will travel more than any of us will travel in the next few months. We've already started filming in Atlanta. We've already started filming in LA. We will be filming in Miami. We will be filming in London. But one of the reasons that we always start talking about virtual reality, and everybody's familiar with virtual reality, right? Okay, raise hands. Yay, yay, okay, good, good. There have been times when I've gotten crickets. So why VR? So we start off talking about the empathy machine that virtual reality is. So the way that we are going to film this is the average height of a 4-year-old is 40 inches. So we will have this camera at 40 inches for when we are telling the story to make the audience feel like they are in a position of power. We are calling these positions of power. And then we are going to go the hero's journey, the hero's route in the storytelling of putting them 72 inches tall, which is 2.3 inches higher than the average man. So you feel like this use of space, this use of height as we're telling this digital online story. And that kind of amazes me because not only is that a layer of the storytelling aspect, but there's another layer, and that layer is size and scale. So we'll be using huge, huge spaces like the ports of LA, and then small spaces like hotel bathrooms to convey that message and to put that in. Because the way that I think of virtual reality is it's telling a story to the masses individually, which is an amazing thing that we've not been able to do. It is an immersion into a reality that we are not accustomed to. So this film will start out complete darkness, some facts, complete darkness, and then a trunk lifts. And you, as an audience member, are in that trunk. That's how it starts. We will go through all of this. And so we ask, why VR? Because it puts you in a position where you're not comfortable. It puts you in a position where we're not able to talk about it. With child trafficking, we have had a difficult time trying to figure out how to make people talk. People don't like to share that. People don't like to talk about that. But now we're going to be able to have something, especially with the product that we're using. We're using a platform called Zeality, which is a social media platform. Some of the patents are under NDA right now, but it will be coming out, and we will be announcing a lot of the new stuff that's coming in LA at an event called VRLA next week. Or is it this week? It's this week. This is Zeality. Follow them on Twitter. Next slide. And this is us last night being very happy because we've got this. And I want to talk about this barrier of entry thing because we are all creators, all right? We start off. We all have this in our blood. You know, our ancestors come from cave-dwelling painters. We have music in our bloods. We have poems in our blood. And they're banging at the chains to get out. They're banging at the chains to say this. What is your platform? What is your medium to be able to tell that story? There are so many influencers that are really good at marketing, like Mr. Carmody. There are so many influencers that are wonderful at live streaming, like Mr. Brian Fanzo. What is your platform? I think that's why a lot of us are here, and that's why a lot of us get together, because we get together on a platform, and we put that weight on it. We put that badassery that only we can do, that our souls say, hey, you are a creator. All right, so now the barrier of entry has gotten so low that it's really interesting, because in my industry, in virtual reality, everybody says there's a lot of bottles and not a lot of wine. We are in an industry that's begging for creators because all the nerds, like me and my friends, we have created the software to build something upon. I was inspired this morning at 4 a.m. and completely changed my speech. Completely, 4 a.m. And go ahead, next slide, which shows how awesome I am at speaking, by the way. But I saw that Oculus Medium had put up something that said, sculpting in digital clay. Sculpting in digital clay. It goes back to the original times when we're sculpting in marble. It's the same thing. We are creating art in a new medium, guys, and we get a big canvas, a big round canvas, a big place to put that art and to do that. So my awakening for this, and I was like, okay, I am focusing so much of my time on virtual reality because after I spoke at CES, I spoke on the changing landscape of technology. And that's when the HTC Vive came out, and you're able to paint in a real world. So you're able to put on a headset, and you're painting. And then as you're painting, you're seeing that this is three-dimensional. And I painted a slit, and I thought, if I made a video game, I could go into that tent and then go into my arsenal for a shooter game. I could go through all these things that I created in this real physical space. And that just set my mind on fire. That set my creativity on fire. I was so gung-ho about how I was going to use this. And then people started saying, next slide. People started saying, next slide. They said it all the time. But I started thinking, and my mind went all these places. Where can I have an impact? And then I realized, what am I already effing good at? What am I already good at? So think about it. What are you good at? And then do it on that platform. Last year, I won the Presidential Volunteer Service Award from the White House for my work with Special Olympics. I'm very passionate about helping the world. You know, my life is a life for others. My life is a life for my wife, for my children, for education. And I see this, all right? Who remembers the Dewey Decimal System? All right? Dewey Decimal System sucks, all right? I remember the smell of the wood, of opening the drawer, of seeing the boogery files and fingerings. You know, it's just not good. Now my daughter, instead of Encyclopedia Britannica, my 2.5-year-old puts on a headset and knows how to go through a world and see something in a more meaningful way. And there are people that are creating experiences that are going to connect my daughter to learning. There are people like us that are creating experiences to give more empathy, to show more love in life. So my friends sometimes say, you know, that are out of the industry and think that I'm the world's biggest nerd, that it's going to cut us off. That's not what technology does. All right? That's what we said in the 90s when everybody had their computers. They're like, oh, no, nobody. You know what? You guys all have computers in your pocket. You're going out playing Pokemon Go. Your technology is bringing you somewhere. Your technology is making you meet people. That is not what technology does. It doesn't constrict. It becomes what you make it. It becomes what you use it for. And that's what amazes me about this future. There are things like alt space, where there is a social place where you can go in a virtual setting with an avatar and go meet with people. So imagine the future of gathering around the digital fireplace with your fellow summer camp counselors or your high school reunion where you're actually able to meet in a physical space and talk. You know, these things are being built, and if they're not, you can build them. That's what's amazing about this space now. Everything is getting more and more awesome. This camera right here costs $350. When I started in VR, any camera setup cost at least 10 grand. I mean, like, that's basic. The jaunt camera, which I was like, oh my God, I got to touch that thing. It was like $80,000. All right, look into the future. My 2-year-old, when she's 12 or 13, this is going to be Cracker Jack box stuff. This is 2 4K cameras back to back, sandwiched together. All right, we go, woo, this is great. It's 2 cameras with fisheye lenses. It's not that big of a deal, but it's amazing about what it does and what you can do with it and the platforms that people are making. Next slide. I'm getting all charged up. I think it's the caffeine. Woo!
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really exciting to think about this. So people are starting to make theme parks with these. So my cousin went to a theme park, and he was talking about a Superman ride where he's able to put on a ride and then go through this and talk about it with his friends. Next. But this, I want to give you guys some homework because I want everybody, this is a new thing. This is VR for the masses. Social VR is a real goal for getting this content out there. And there's not this content yet. We are in this junkyard phase where everybody's using duct tape to put everything together to make these things. But more products are coming out that are more amazing, that are more easy to use. There are some companies that I want you to follow. I'll do that at the end. Let's see. So in the end, how much time have I gone through? Damn, I've been going hard. This is awesome. Guys, you guys are giving me good smiles and energy. Y'all are awesome. But I really want to tell you, like, the thing that you need to be on top of is know what you really want to do with your story. Know how you want to tell it. Know what you did. Know, what did you want to be when you were a kid? Like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be a director so bad. I watched films. And I tried to figure out how they did it, where they were hiding, what technologies they used. I mean, look at Total Recall. Look at Roger Rabbit. You know, they were putting stuff on top of other things. They were putting the cartoon on top of things. It was setting my mind on fire. What sets your mind on fire? Are you a poet? Are you a musician? What are you going to use to share your love of what you do? That's what all of this is about. That's what everything is about. That's what life is about. It's about sharing your passion, making the world a better place, seeing how you can amplify education, amplify good things, be a part of something. All right, sweet. So this is my homework slide. Guys, if you guys are interested in kind of cheating your way through VR and figuring these things out, follow VR Scout. It's kind of like these people used to run Vice, and now they're doing VR content, and it's for the masses. It's like USA Today of VR. It's really awesome. My company is VR Salon. We do all the social VR stuff. We do that with Help Erase. Definitely follow them in Zeality. We're going to be doing, because this is a live streaming conference, I'm really excited about the process that we're going to go through as we create this film. We're going to be doing a kind of meta thing where we are live streaming behind the scenes as we're doing this, so we can tell why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and what we're doing. So it's going to amplify, and it's going to be kind of its own marketing, its own television show, which is really meta, which if any of you guys were really nerdy, you would know that meta is a headset, and that's kind of a funny joke, but you're not that nerdy. Nobody's that nerdy. Ready Player One is a book that I have bought for about a dozen people. It is so, so good, and it tells you kind of what the future of VR could look like, where you're able to build worlds. Guys, this is coming in such an accelerated rate. Fortune, at the beginning of the year, said that VR and AR was going to be a $20 billion industry by 2020. Just recently, they said it was going to be a $120 billion industry. Fortune magazine, come on, guys, like it is blowing up so much. And what it's going to become the fabric of our lives that we don't even recognize, like it's friggin' electricity, all right? We are going to be using VR augmented headsets. We are going to have things overlaid in our glasses where we're able to pull up our email, where we're able to communicate, where we're able to tap it and go dark and be in a completely immersive experience. These things are coming so fast. Everybody says it's going to be 5 years, and then they correct themselves and they say it's going to be 4 years. So look at this stuff because it's friggin' cool. But get on this stuff. Google Cardboard costs between $7 and $16, and you slide your phone in it, and you can go and have these experiences. I cried my ass off when I watched Google Cardboard Spotlight Pearl. There's a show called, so look at that. It's free. And it is this wonderful story that just completely takes you away. And that's that experience. That's how you can tell that story. Everybody's making tools for you to tell your story. That's what Snapchat is. That's what Periscope is. That's what all these things are. The world loves content. The world wants content. Go out, make some damn good content, rock it. You know, I'm gonna share your shit. I'm going to. Like, I wanna see everybody win really big because it's a big boat, man. Let's make it all rise together. That's how I feel. So you guys feel free to follow me on Twitter. That's where I do most of my love. I'm a huge Twitter guy. I'm at Ryan_A_Bell. And if we have time, I'm happy to take a question or two or anything like that. We don't have time. Okay. So, and I'm out.